What are the best areas within Waterloo, Ontario? Today we're going to answer that question. And yes, I could pick the most expensive homes here within Waterloo, Ontario, the most expensive neighborhoods. But in this case, I'm going to take the following 5 criteria. This is really more gauged towards families and places where you could really buy once, keep it forever, retire, sell your house 20, 30 years down the road and be very satisfied on the neighborhood that you picked as well as the home that you picked. We're going to look at the following 5 criteria here. I went off of the median price here for the city of Waterloo, which at the recording of this video in the month of May was around $800,000. So all of these neighborhoods, you will be able to purchase a home freehold around $800,000. We'll also look at the activities and parks within the area, the shopping amenities, the schools, which is a major factor. Every school mentioned within this video, with the exception of one, will be above the provincial average, which is 6.0. Some of these schools will be rated 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. These are in no particular order whatsoever, except for the last one, which I really think is the best neighborhood here within Waterloo, Ontario. Let's start over here. We'll look at the map. We'll go to Eastbridge, which is located on the eastern side of Waterloo, close to Highway 85. And we'll highlight it here on the map, painted in yellow. And it's this area right here by Bridge Street West, bordered by University Ave. So in this neighborhood, you'll be able to find some great real estate options. We'll look at this one right here, which sold around the $800,000 mark. All of these homes within this video have sold within the last 60 days. So this one right here had 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a 1-car garage, pretty well renovated inside. And within this neighborhood, you're gonna find mostly homes built in the 1990s and early 2000s. If you're looking to up the budget a little bit more, you're looking for more space, you can certainly find that. This one right here sold for $1,050,000 thereabouts. 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, just over 2,000 square feet, double car garage, built again early 2000s. Now, why is this neighborhood so great? And really this one is more geared towards the fact that you are really close to Rim Park, which is located right here, just north. And Rim Park is the facilities here that you'll be using most often if you do have children that are into sports. If they're into soccer, if they're into hockey, if they're into gymnastics, this is basically going to be the go-to point. There are multiple turf soccer fields, both indoor and out. There's hockey arenas inside. There's the Waterloo Public Library as well. There's also a large hall. So the majority of the sports teams within Waterloo, Ontario, when it comes to minor soccer, minor hockey, are going to be based out of Rim Park. So if you do have children within that demographic and they're looking at playing sports, this is definitely going to be the best location for you. I know a lot of families, they do spend a lot of time taking their kids to soccer practice, taking their kids to hockey practice, and being close enough, just a 2-5-minute drive from wherever you are within this area is going to save you tons of time. Other outdoor facilities within the area, we're looking at Gray Silo Golf Course, which is located on the eastern side. And then within the actual neighborhood itself, you do have Millenwood Lot Park, Eastbridge Green, and of course the Grand River Trail. You are very close to it, so you can definitely enjoy yourself on a wonderful walk during the day or in the evening. And then in terms of shopping, a bit of a shortfall here. There are locations where you can shop. Brown Social House, just located outside of the neighborhood. Excellent restaurant if you want to enjoy an alcoholic beverage or a bite to eat. Really nice. The major draw here is you kind of are close to Conestoga Mall. You're about 7 to 8 minutes, 10 minutes at the most if you're on the far eastern side of the neighborhood. And there you're going to have all the shopping that you can find. Zehrs, which is comparable to a superstore for those that are not living here within the region. There's an Aritzia, there's an Apple store, there's a cinema, and the list goes on. There's also a few little corner plazas in which, you know, there's a nail salon, some restaurants dotted in between. In terms of schools, we're looking at great options here. We're looking at Millen Woods Public School, a rating of 8.3. Lester B Public School, a rating of 7.4. And then Blue Vale Collegiate when you are looking at the high schools. These are all public schools within the area. I will highlight on the bottom a link to Catholic schools if you're looking at Catholic schools. Moving on to the next neighborhood here, a little bit more expensive, but of course, I think it's slightly better. I would choose this neighborhood, and we're gonna go a little bit further east. We're gonna go to Beechwood. And Beechwood is quite a large area, as you can see that Google Maps has highlighted a huge swath here. But the area I'm gonna focus on in particular is the original Beechwood. So this right here, this is Upper Beechwood, bordered by Keatsway, Erbsville Road, Columbia Street West. This is Lower Beechwood, bordered by Erb Street West. And then there's this area here, which is the original Beechwood, or what others would call Old Beechwood. So this bottom half here, that segments these two areas. So the south of Keatsway, that's still considered Beechwood, but it's not like the northern half of Beechwood. Northern half of Beechwood, we're going to be looking at homes, anywhere from $900,000 all the way to $2-3 million at times. On the southern portion of this, it's closer to a mid-tier neighborhood, a little bit different. There's also a school in there that isn't the greatest. It's rated 5.5, which we'll get to later on. And we really have to be cognizant of that. And when you are looking at Beechwood, please stick to the northern side. It's definitely a lot different than on the southern side. Nothing wrong with the southern side, but definitely when I think of Beechwood, I'm thinking of north of Keatsway up to Columbia Street. Now, looking at the different real estate options, we're looking at just over $860,000. This one recently sold. Raised bungalow, double car garage, 3 bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms, completely renovated top to bottom, renovated on the outside, new windows, new garage doors, new roof, beautiful backyard. This property is move-in ready. You won't have to touch this property for decades, in fact, on a fantastic cul-de-sac. Now, if you want to up the budget a little bit more, we're going to look at this property right here, which sold around $1.1 million, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a double car garage, and this one was pretty well renovated inside, and you can find anything from stuff that needs substantial amount of work, usually have been purchased back in the 1980s and 1970s when this was first built, original from the owner that does need work, or you can find things that have been renovated over time or things that have been fully renovated. And of course, you can spend $3-4 million in this neighborhood when those homes do pop up. Looking at the activities and parks, we have Old Post Park, located kind of in the central area of Beechwood. We have Clare Lake Park with beautiful Clare Lake dotted in the middle. And the one thing that really differentiates this particular area from all other neighborhoods within Waterloo is the fact that you have a homeowners association. It is optional. It costs about $600 per year, and you'll have access to swimming pools, tennis courts, and other community events with that $600 fee. So if that's something that you're looking for, somewhere where you can live, let the kids go over to the swimming pool or the tennis courts and enjoy their summers, there's no other neighborhood that can offer you that other than Beechwood. Now, looking at the map right now, we'll look at the shopping options and where they are. So on the northwestern side, we have Laurelwood Mews. You have a Sobeys, a barbershop, a pizza place, a Starbucks. On the southern side, very comparable to Sobeys in terms of pricing, you have Zehrs. This one right here is called Beechwood Center. You have a Chinese store, a pizza, a cannabis store, and all of the like. And then you have Beechmount Plaza, which has a pharmacy, a hair salon, a UPS. So in this area, shopping, you have a multitude of shopping options, not to mention you are relatively close to Uptown Waterloo. If you do want to have more boutique shops as well as restaurant options, there are more within Uptown Waterloo. Now, looking at the public schools within this neighborhood, on the northern side of Keatsway, we have Mary Johnston Public School with a rating of 8.8 out of 10. South of Keatsway, we have Keatsway Public School with a rating of 5.5 out of 10. This school isn't the greatest, just below the provincial average, which is 6. And then finally, we have, for high schools, Waterloo Collegiate Institute, which has a rating of 6.9 out of 10. Moving on to the next neighborhood here, we're going to go slightly west to Vista Hills, and this one right here, I really want to highlight. This is if you're looking for that new construction. New construction in Waterloo is hard to come by right now. We're running out of space, especially in Waterloo. Kitchener, we still have probably 20 to 30 years in which we can continue expand to the boundary, especially on the southern side towards Ayr, Ontario, towards New Dundee. There is space there that we'll be able to build detached and townhomes, but for the most part, Waterloo is almost completely built up. Now, Vista Hills is bordered here on the northwestern side, and this right here, Wilmot line, is the division between Waterloo and Wilmot Township, so we won't be able to build into there into the future unless the township allows for it, which frankly, in my opinion, probably won't be happening due to the fact that Wilmot Township does not allow, frankly, for anything to be done ever. There's a little bit of a joke in the industry here that Wilmot Township, when it comes to talking to the building or zoning division, it's called Will Not Township because the answer is they will not allow you to do said thing, whatever you're looking for. Going back to the map here, Vista Hills Public School dotted in the center. So you have a lot of green space here and brand new homes. Talking about homes, we'll look at the real estate options within the area. The major builder right now within Vista Hills is Activa. Activa is one of the largest builders here within Kitchener-Waterloo and frankly owns the majority of the land. If you're looking for new construction, you can get stacked townhomes starting within the 600s. Single detached from Activa, you're looking in the low $1 million mark, double car garage detached homes on, I believe, 28-foot lots. And if you're looking at resale, we'll look at this one that recently sold, which was a end unit townhouse with a walkout basement. This one was kind of set up with an in-law suite on the bottom. So if you are looking for multi-generational living, this could have been an option for you. This one sold for $881,000 back in April. 3 bedrooms on the top, 1 in the basement, with a total of 4 bathrooms and a 1.5 car garage. If you're looking at the $1.1 million mark, we're looking at this home here, which recently sold, which is a double car garage detached home, 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 2,206 square feet above grade, 42-foot frontage at the front by 99-foot deep. Now, what I really like about this neighborhood is the fact you have a lot of green space nearby. You have multiple parks. You have Columbia Forest, Vista Hills Park, Beach Drops Park, Sundew Park, Autumn Willow Park, and there's definitely a lot of green space within the subdivision and just on the outside, as you can see, which is protected forest land. So in terms of shopping, this is where it's kind of let down. You're gonna have to make the trek outside of the neighborhood in order to get to shopping amenities. But once you're outside of the subdivision, you have a multitude of great options. If we go back to the map here, we're on the south side here. We're looking at Costco. The only Costco in Waterloo is located conveniently just on the southern end of Vista Hills. And right nearby, you have another large shopping plaza with Canadian Tire, Starbucks, another coffee shop, a shawarma place, a RBC, Chuck's, Winners, and a few other restaurants. So you do have definitely a lot of options within this neighborhood. And then in terms of public schools, we're looking at Vista Hills Public School. As of right now, there isn't a rating for this school in particular, but it is highly regarded as one of the better schools within Waterloo, Ontario. There is a second school as well, which is Sir John A. Macdonald, which is the secondary school within this area. And then finally, you have WCI, which has a rating of 6.9 out of 10. Now, drum roll, please. The best area in Waterloo, Ontario, in my personal opinion, is Laurelwood. Looking at the map here, we'll look at Laurelwood itself. So if I click Laurelwood, it's going to bring up this smaller area here on the southeastern side. For the sake of this video, I really want to highlight the fact that Laurelwood does extend from its original area, which is here, bordered by Columbia Street West. But I would like to also include this portion right here, which is just northwest of Laurelwood. It still contains the road Laurelwood Drive as well. And here it is. In this neighborhood, you're going to pay a little bit of a premium compared to the rest of the Waterloo, but there are reasons for that. The schools in this neighborhood are absolutely fantastic. When it comes to JK through 10, we have Laurelwood Public School with a rating of 9.2 out of 10. The best school within the whole region is Laurelwood Public School. Secondarily, you have JK through 6 we have Abraham Erb Public School with a rating of 9.0. And when it comes to high schools, you have Laurel Heights Secondary School with a rating of 8.4 out of 10. Now, looking at the real estate options here, you can actually get into the condo side. And no, this is not going to be shoebox condos like they're building nowadays. There's two buildings in particular located on the western side of Laurelwood, 776 and 778 Laurelwood, which are absolutely fantastic. You have very low condo fees here. We're talking 40 cents a square foot. So if we'll take a real life example here, a client of mine actually picked this up about a month ago now. We're looking at 2 bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms, over 1,000 square foot, above grade, closer to 1,100 square feet with 1 car parking space. They purchased it for $565,000. If you want a higher floor, there was another one that recently sold. Same floor plan, which sold for $585,000, slightly better finishes, but not much of a difference there. These condos are hard to find with this much space. 2-bedroom condos are being built now with floor plans that are only 650 square feet, which frankly is far too tight. I mean, a 1-bedroom with 650 square feet, that's manageable, but having 2 bedrooms in that square footage, it's too tight, in my opinion. I've been through quite a few different condos with clients and they are extremely small. It's hard to do everything. I mean, you're cooking in the kitchen and pretty much doing the laundry at the same time without even moving. Now, when it comes to townhomes, there are townhomes available in the area like this one right here, which sold around the $750,000 mark back in May. This one had 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, over 1,400 square feet, above grade, built in around 2007, fairly done inside, not renovated to the nines by any stretch of the imagination, but definitely you could move in without doing any work. And then when it comes to the detached side, it is possible to find a detached house under $800,000 within Laurelwood, and my clients recently purchased this one back in April. We managed to snag this one for just under $800,000, and this one does need some work inside, but getting something under $800,000 in Laurelwood is almost unheard of. Looking back at the previous year, there was only one other detached house that sold within the area under $800,000. And if you want to spend a little bit more money, you definitely can. There's homes in the subdivision that are $2 million like this one right here. 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, nearly 3,000 square feet above grade. This one was renovated top to bottom, completely move-in ready. It actually bordered protected space, which is another great reason why Laurelwood is in fact a fantastic neighborhood, because you have a lot of green space. You have Laurel Creek Conservation Area, which we'll go back to the map here, which is located just northeast here of Laurelwood neighborhood itself. And there you can do a multitude of activities. There's also camping available as well. So it's just a walking distance, which is such a great convenience. You won't really get this anywhere else within either the city of Kitchener or the city of Waterloo. Is an actual conservation area within the city. And then within Laurelwood itself, you do have a few minor parks. You have Old Oak Park as well as Gatestone Park. And then in terms of shopping options, on the eastern side, you have Laurelwood Mews. Again, I highlighted this area earlier. You have Sobeys, Canada Trust, LCBO, Starbucks, Domino's. And then you have Laurelwood Plaza, which is on the western side of Laurelwood. That one has Food Basics, Subway, and Dairy Queen. So when it comes to grocery stores, you do have 2 completely different options. Sobeys, a little bit more expensive. Food Basics, a bit more cost effective. All in all, this is probably the most well-rounded neighborhood in Waterloo, Ontario. The best schools, access to nature, great shopping nearby, and the entry-level property is attainable for the average person looking for the average property in Waterloo, which is, at the recording of this video, $800,000. And if you want to see what Kitchener has to offer you instead of Waterloo, then you can watch this one coming up, which is the best and worst neighborhoods of Kitchener.